Broward County Tax Deed Auction. Welcome back. The auction is a very popular one in Broward County, and people travel from all over Florida and other states to bid at this auction. And when I say they're traveling to get there, that's true. There'll be a big room full of people, and these are aggressive and certified buyers. These people really are competitive. So if you're an amateur, you might want to go there and just watch. All of the buyers are going to be active, and they're going to make a lot of noise, and they're going to do a lot of yelling and screaming. However, that's in a live auction. Now the auctions are online, but you're still going to find aggressive buyers at this auction. Why? Because the properties are so valuable. Now, my name is Ted Thomas. I've been involved in tax liens and tax deeds for over 30 years. This particular auction in Broward County is attracting people from all over the United States, and we're going to find very assertive buyers. Okay, it's a very unique auction because the property values are so high. They're very much like Miami and like West Palm Beach. Now, before I go into this in detail, I want you to know I'm not an attorney. I'm not a real estate broker. I'm basically an author and an investor, and I look at things from that kind of perspective. So understand, I'm just giving you information and guiding you. I'm not giving you legal advice. All right, now, all the counties on the web, this one is going to give you lots of good detail on the auction site. So you want to go and review this site multiple times before you go to the auction or before you go online. They'll tell you about different rules, and so this is a place to go get information before you get started. So we're talking about Broward County. It's only one county away from Miami. Very active place, okay? The auction is going to move quickly. The attendees are going to be aggressive buyers, and the auction will move, and you need to really pay attention. Now, none of that's negative, but this is not the place to go do your first buying. It's a good place to go and learn, but it's not a good place to get started right away. But it's a place to go and watch. At least that's my take on the auction. I like to start slow because money is hard to come by, and if you make a mistake, you're going to make a big mistake. So let's start with the overall picture. Broward County auction is really an auction. Okay, auctions mean, in this case, it's going to go to the highest bidder. So when they start the bidding, it might start out at just the back taxes, or very close to that, but they're going to bid that up quickly. And when they bid it up quickly, you're going to have to pay close attention to what's going on. Now, the auctioneer is attempting to raise the price as much as possible in a live auction. Now, if it's an auction online, you're going to be able to watch the bidding. It'll slow it down a little bit, but you need to pay close attention. I would expect most auctions now to be online. Okay, but the properties they're auctioning defaulted tax property. That means that the property will be not only free of mortgage, but it'll also be free of a trust deed loan. So what I'm saying is they're going to sell the property for basically somewhere starting bid around back taxes, and then it'll bid up. Highest bidder will get the property. So newcomers, let me give you a quick and brief background of what's going on. The Florida legislature requires that all property owners pay tax. But they start out in Florida with a tax lien certificate. So for the first 2 years that the person's in default, the property, they stay in the property, and they've sold a tax lien on the property. Now, if that people don't come forward and pay the tax lien, then it's going to end up like at Broward County. So the Broward County Tax Deed auction is going to be just that. It's going to be an auction. It'll start out at those back taxes, and then the highest bidder will get the property. Now, in my opinion, Florida is a benevolent state when it comes to tax lien certificates because they don't push the people off the property. But after the certificate matures, then they're going to take the property to a tax deed auction. There's nothing benevolent about that auction. That auction is going to take place, and the highest bidder will take it, and they'll get a deed to the property a short time after the auction. So the county treasurer is allowed to sell tax lien certificates, but today we're talking about Broward County. We're talking about tax deed auction. Property's going to sell at the auction. Person that's highest bidder will get a deed to that property. They will get ownership of the property. All right, so the defaulting property owner will no longer be able to stay in the property. If they haven't come forward and paid during the tax lien period, then they're out of luck, because at the tax deed auction, the county is going to confiscate the property, they're going to seize it, and they're going to move the people out of that particular property. All right, so the second auction is the one that we're talking about in the state of Florida. It's called the Broward County Tax Deed Auction. Now, as I said earlier, this is going to be aggressive, assertive auction. A lot of things are going to happen, and they happen relatively quickly. But the property will be transferred to the highest bidder. All right. Now, many people ask, what's going to happen to the loans on the property? They're going to ask about the other liens on the property. You're required to do your due diligence. What does that mean? That means you need to go and know what the liens on the property are after the auction. At the auction itself, the treasurer will delete, that is, they'll wipe out the mortgage or deed or trust loan. They'll wipe it off the property. However, there still could be municipal liens and federal liens that you should learn about. All right, you're going to have to research that before the auction starts. It's going to be too late once the auction is in progress, because it's going to move so quickly. All right, so I'll have a lot of different suggestions here. Forget about the tax lien, because this auction now that we're talking about is Broward County Tax Deed Auction. That means they're going to actually sell the property without a mortgage or a trust deed loan on it. Now, I'm not an attorney. Okay, so I'm not giving you legal advice or guidance in any way. I don't run a title company. I'm not a broker. It's up to you to do your due diligence so you know about the property and you do the right thing. All right, now, what are you going to do when you get this property? These local governments are selling the property to you. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that property. So all the research has to be done before the auction. Once the auction takes place, just go ahead and start your selling process right away. Now, you can't actually sell the property until you actually have the deed in your hand, but that doesn't keep you from starting the process of doing it. All right, now the county received the property as a default. All right, so they won't necessarily know what other things could be wrong with the property. What do I mean by that? It's your responsibility to know the condition of the property before you buy it. The county's going to give you a deed, and it's going to be a quitclaim deed. It's going to say right in it, they're not responsible for the condition of the property, and they're not responsible for any defects in the title. It's going to be your job to know what's going to happen and be able to take care of those things. All right, so the county has done what they call due process in getting it. Now it's your job to do your due diligence and find out if there's any challenges with the property. All right, now they probably will sell the property starting bid at 10, 20, or 30 cents on the dollar, but that doesn't mean it will end there, because this is an aggressive audience that's going to be in the room or is going to be buying online. Okay, the property that the county is selling has been in default. They just want to get the property back on the honorable tax roll. That's all they're trying to do. So they're going to eliminate some of the loans on the way, but municipal liens and government liens could still be on the property. All right, so no matter what deed they give you, understand it's going to be a quitclaim deed. So this is going to be a serious matter. All right, now I'm going to run out of time very quickly on this particular video. So I want to just do a quick review. I'm talking about the Broward County Tax Deed Auction. All right, this auction will take place at least once a year. I would anticipate it's going to be online. I would anticipate there'll be a lot of bidders there. I would anticipate that the prices will go high. This has always been an auction that attracts people from all over the southeast United States. They want to buy at this auction because the properties are so good. Now, my name is Ted Thomas. Right below me, if you'd like to have an auction list so you can see what it looked like, there's a sample auction list right below me. I'll see you on the next video.